Hey everyone, welcome. This is Jess McRavy and Steve Weck, and in this demo, we are going to show you a cool overview of what OrderPix can do for you. So Steve, I'm going to throw it back at you and give us your overview of what you think OrderPix does for everybody.
All right. Well, OrderPix is 100% owned, developed, and supported by ACI. So we own it, we support it, we develop it, and it's 100% ours in a closed loop system. So from the time that a studio puts those files and projects online to the point where they come off their printer and they get delivered to the shopper, it's a closed loop. So you don't have to wonder about who's supporting this, where you're going to for support, that type of thing. It's 100% us. It makes it easier, I think, for the studios to
Yep.
work with this. So I will say that because we totally control it and own it, there are no monthly fees. We don't charge for this. We choose not to. We make our money off of the prints and products that we produce for the studios. And we also choose not to take commissions on your sales. So that's kind of pretty big deal. There's a lot to OrderPix beyond the free and the no commission. It's a super functional, easy to use online ordering system.
I think the first thing we're going to show you is the customer's view, your shopper's view. And the first thing we want to throw out there is probably about 70% of orders that come through OrderPix are done on mobile, which is a pretty cool stat for us. What happens is it's got a lot of cool features in the email marketing. Shopper's going to get the email on their phone, they click right in, and they're ready to order. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. So this view right here is kind of a view of what your shopper would see. Now, you are going to get 10 different URLs with your account. And what we mean by that is right here, you see where it says orderschoolpix.com. We got 10 different URLs of that. So let's say you got Christmas coming up and you want a holiday one. You've got a church group coming up. You've got sports. We got all kinds of different URLs that come with your account. Now, this first part is going to be branded to you. So when we set up your account, you select that at that time. Cool. So what you see here is you see a password protected gallery, and you see that we are going to collect an email. So once the shopper puts in their email, they're going to hit submit and rock and roll here. One more thing as that's pulling up, you saw that background there. All 10 of those URLs have the option to be customizable by you. Have a little fun with it, get creative, market to your customers right then and there, upsell to them, whatever you want to do. So right here, Steve's going to kind of run through a little bit of what the shopping cart looks like to your guests. Things to hit real quick. We're not going to go into a whole bunch of detail here, but just know you've got options to set up your backgrounds. You've got options to pick from art backgrounds if you're doing a green screen project. You got options to watermark your images with either a text or a PNG file. You've got options down in this bottom corner. You've got an option to add additional passwords, meaning additional children. If you're going to be, if mom's got, 3 or 4 kids and she wants to place one order. All right, so now we'll go into buy prints. Right here, the biggest thing we want to show you is those packages are all customizable by you. Complete control of what's in them, how much it costs, and how many different poses somebody can get within a package. A lot of cool features right there as well. A couple different tabs up at the top there. We've got products in the next tab. I think a cool thing with OrderPix is the shopper's going to see their image, as long as it's in a batch mode, on the product and kind of get a good feel of what it will look like. Next page is just going to show you a quick view of the prints. And again, that 16 mini wallets, pretty cool visual there to show the parent what they're going to see and what they're going to get.
And by the way, Jess, I might add that little feature where I'm popping these up here. The studio has control of turning that off, and typically a studio would turn that off. So the shopper cannot make that come up large and maybe do a screen capture. So that's kind of a behind the scenes thing that studio can do to kind of take a look at things a little closer if they want to.
Cool.
Might also mention, Jess, that somebody can do packages, they can do products and prints, or they can do just packages. If you just totally want to put everything in packages, you can do that, and therefore you just have the one tab.
All right. Other than that, the shopping experience is pretty normal, pretty basic to what you'd see online. Mom can add to the cart, And then we utilize Stripe with all of our ordering um, online features here. So basically what happens is you're going to set up a Stripe account. When you set up your OrderPix account, that money goes straight from your customer straight to your account. We don't have anything to do with that. We just have the lab bill between you and us as you normally would have. Steve's just showing you here just a quick view of the receipt that mom's going to see, shopper's going to see, putting in their credit card, and kind of give them an overview of what they just ordered and rock and roll. And at that point, you just received an email saying you got an order. So money in the bank. Let's see. Anything else here, Steve, you want to show them?
No, I don't think so. I think on the receipt, there's an opportunity if they want to put a little greeting on there or like a thank you note down here in the lower left. But mom will also receive the email, and so she has that. By the way, the studio logo would be uploaded in the upper left corner, wouldn't be ACI. So that's another option for branding, controllable by the studio.
And guys, we just want you to know this video is a real high overview. We'll have more videos that'll get into more details into each one of these sections. So if you've got questions, great, just look for more videos. Or cool thing about OrderPix is you're going to reach out to us and we're going to be there to support you.
Let's talk a little bit about the three types of projects that are available.
Yeah.
Studios and OrderPix. So
yeah. So with OrderPix, we have three main types of projects. So the first project that we want to talk about is the PrePay. So as you can see, Steve's pulling up a PrePay project, and you're going to start to fill in the information here. Creating a project honestly takes probably 2 to 3 minutes. So that's a pretty cool thing that you're rolling pretty quick here. And within a PrePay, we have seen some pretty cool things and pretty creative ways that people utilize this. One way is I have no data and I just need to get this link out to my people, and I want money coming in before I go to my shoot. So that's kind of the old-fashioned basic PrePay. Another way that we have seen PrePay used is, let's say a dance studio wants to collect an outfit fee or a deposit. So a senior, a dance, something like that you want to deposit for. PrePay is another great way to collect that money in advance. Yeah. And then Steve loves to talk about when you do have data and you do want to get a PrePay.
Yeah, so if you are fortunate enough to get the data in advance, say for a school, then you can import your data and you're going to make the password hide. I'm kind of getting into the weeds with this one, but you set up the password to be as hide. And then what you're going to do is direct the parents to, when they hit that landing page, is to actually search for their subject because they're already loaded. And then the PrePay order is tied directly to their subject record in OrderPix. So that's kind of the best scenario, I think, the most efficient, but we can handle any of those. Jess, I might say when there is no data, we do have a function in OrderPix that you can turn on that actually collects the data and creates a subject record, data for the project. And where that becomes a benefit is once you actually go out and shoot the school, photograph the job, you can create your own QR codes, barcode labels, things of that nature if you're that type of shooter and that's your image matching system. So we do have that functionality as well. So
PrePay, crazy wide, lots of opportunities there. Definitely, if that was a lot of information, don't worry. We'll have more videos to come and get you some more information there. Kind of the one that became popular after, let's say the COVID word, was the batch ordering system. So batch is a scenario would be, I've got my data, I'm going to go shoot, and then I'm not going to take any prepays. I'm going to load it, and then I'm going to let the project run. I'd say the benefits of this one is it frees up your time. So a lot less behind the scenes work for you. You're gonna shoot, you're gonna load, and then you're just gonna take orders. So what happens here is most often is you want each subject to be individually password, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. So you turn on your email marketing. We hit on that again. Shopper gets an email. They click in right to their gallery. They place the order. And then with a batch order, what happens is you select the time frame that you want your orders to come in to your project. And then after that time is hit, it's going to go straight into production. Only thing that you would need to do if you want to is if you needed to add any additional retouching, stuff like that. Otherwise, it's going to flow right into production. It's going to get printed. It's going to get individually packaged, which is another cool time saver for you. And then it's going to come back sorted however you tell us to sort it. As long as we have the data, we can sort it any way you tell us. One other cool feature that I'll hit on while Steve's down there is that batch order date. So let's say you're in a school project and you go shoot the first round of kids. That goes into production, it gets sent back out. Now it's time for reorders. So the other thing I want to hit on a batch that you probably already know is that gives us that volume discount price for you guys. So this is the best place for ordering for you guys price-wise. So if you want another batch order to go into the lab, you can see 3 options there to set up batch dates. So first shoot, reorder shoot, and maybe you're going to be, generous and give them one more shoot. And so again, all those orders come in during that time frame. And then once that order hits, it goes into production. Production prints packages for you, individually packages and sorts them for you. The default for batch ordering is it's going to ship back to you for delivery. So this one is default back to you. Now, if you wanted to, you can turn on the ship to home button, and then that would activate a shipping cost, and then that would be a direct shipped out of that batch order as well.
Yeah, and this became very popular, of course, during COVID. Really became popular because the schools didn't want to handle the orders, didn't want to hand them out. So this became very popular, and a lot of the studios that we deal with have just stayed with that and found it to be very efficient for them. So,
yep.
And the studio gets to control what they're charging for the shipping.
Yep.
We have a default page here that you can control that as a studio. You can charge more than what we're charging, make $1 or $2 off of it, or not. Do whatever you want to do.
Yep, I was going to say that's a good point. So if you're ever direct shipping to a customer, what'll happen is again, remember I said that you'd have your invoice from you to the lab. So on your invoice, you would see that base shipping cost. Just remember that's going to be back to your customers too. So the customer is going to be paying you that shipping fee through Stripe, and then that would be on your bill with us as well.
Just while we're here, we might as well talk about this. Taxes, sales tax.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, on any of these jobs, whether it be a prepay, batch, or individual order mode, which we really kind of haven't got to that yet, but that's an after the fact onesie or type of order. Studio can charge sales tax or choose not to. Totally your choice. And so you can set up the default where you always charge that tax. And if you come to a job where you say, no, I don't want to charge sales tax on that job, you can override that and choose not to just on that project. So there are features and settings for that.
All right. So while we're on 3 types of of orders for order picks, let's do a refresh here. We got the prepays, lots of options there. We've got the batch ordering, a few options there as well. So here's the next cool one. So let's say your batch order has made its way through the 3 phases or the 2 phases, whatever works for you. Order Picks is going to automatically roll it over to what we call a reorder project. You do not have to reload the project. You don't have to do anything. Just know it's going to roll over and go into that reorder mode. Few things to take away here. At this point, your shopper goes into the site. They place an order. That order will now directly go into production. Production will print and production will directly ship to your customer. So these will automatically have that shipping on them. And then the other key thing to remember is you do have a higher price for your units within the reorder. Once we get there, there's an easy access to the pricing guide, and we'll show you that in a little bit so that you always know what your pricing will be. Again, don't forget, no commissions. But just remember there's the 2 pricing structures for the batch, which is the volume ordering, and then the reorder.
Jess, I share with studios, and I'm sure you do a lot as well, that if they're setting up a batch job, and in this example, the deadline date for those orders to come up to the lab is 7/26/24, July 26th. So in the gallery message, which shows up once they log in, there's a message up there. If you complete this little area right here, make sure you place your order by July 26th to save money.
Yeah.
Because after that date, the prices are going to go up if it rolls over to individual order mode, if there's not a second deadline date. The other place where that message will be important is in the email, and you can put a custom message in the email, which we haven't got there to that yet, but in the email marketing studio can put in their custom message, which is probably where it would be seen the best and have the best visibility with a shopper. But order by July 26th to save money and maybe avoid shipping fees if this initial order is being shipped back to the studio.
The encouragement to get that order in is what we want. So, okay, let's see. So I think that hits the 3 types of orders that OrderPix can handle. I'd say, Steve, you're great at talking about the matching images. Let's maybe hit on that next.
Right.
Yeah, collecting data, no data. How are we going to match these images with the data?
Right. So typically here is a batch job that we've set up, and this one is already, has the images matched up and they're there, but let's kind of assume they're not there. The question is, how do you match your images? Well, there's the good old pen and paper, keeping track of things, and we'll come back to that later. You can still always do that. Not real efficient, but you can do it when you want to or have to. But the more popular ways to do that is we have shooters that are using QR codes and barcoded labels using the Opticon scanners. And so once your data is loaded into a project, you can access both of those options right here under subject action, QR codes, barcodes, and then you can print these off on paper. We also have an app that's included in OrderPix where if you want to pull up that app on a phone or a tablet, then you can actually pull up the QR code on the tablet, shoot it there. If you don't want to have, about 500 pieces of paper out on a windy day on a soccer field. So, but you can produce the QR codes right here in OrderPix. If you're more of a barcode scanner type person, you can do it here using the Opticon scanners. So that's available as well. We know that the in-tag system, if you're familiar with that, the in-tag system works with OrderPix as well, very well. And the Lumix camera is as well, same kind of technology as the in-tag, works well with OrderPix. So those are some more advanced type, more efficient ways of matching images into OrderPix. All of those work. Probably the getting down to the least efficient, but surely a way to do it is if you're a shooter and you're taking I'll say the pen and paper, PrePay type things, type orders, you want to build a CSV is what I'm driving at here. So if you have the images you've taken and you've got their email and all that, you can actually build a CSV and you would actually import that into the project and then follow that up with uploading the images to that project to make it complete, and it would end up looking like what I just showed you with the images matched up. So can do a CSV. And another good old-fashioned way of doing it is you can go in one by one with each subject and upload their images. Not recommended, but you could do that. And there's times when you would want to do that.
Now, we haven't hit on sports projects all that much yet. So quick hit on if you guys are the sports people and you have team images. All these methods also have ways to attach that team image into OrderPix as well. So that's a lot of information there. Hopefully we'll get some more videos out on each of those individual things to give you more detailed pro tips, what to watch for, and what it can do. And here's one pro tip I want to throw out there right now. And I know Steve loves this one too. You gotta test, you gotta practice, you gotta do this before you go to your live shoot. So whatever method you pick, please don't go out and do it on the fly. Test, so that when you get to that shoot, all you're worried about is interacting with your people and rocking and rolling. So
yeah, those are my 3 favorite words: test.
yes.
And just to kind of play off of that a little bit, when folks are shooting green screen, we want them to test and make sure that their lighting and everything's going to work. We don't want them to find that out a couple days later after the shoot and find out things didn't go well and their lighting is not good for doing distractions and green screen. So we have a test that's built right into Order Picks. We encourage you to do that, do the testing, send your images to us, look for that thumbs up from us that everything's going to be fine with their extractions, and then move forward. So that's all built right into Order Picks.
Yeah, well, why don't we hit on the green screen next, since we're kind of there already? Maybe we can jump into that background tab. So I think the high level that we want to talk about today is if you are doing green screen, test first, but just know your backgrounds. You can have as many background sets as you want. And what I mean by that is, hey, I've got my main one for my schools, and then I've got a background set that I want to offer for my sports. And another background set I want to offer for holiday stuff. So pretty cool thing is you can offer as many as you want of your personal custom image backgrounds, or I think 34, does that sound right? 26. I shouldn't have said a number. I'm not sure what it is.
I always use the number 40 because it seems like a good number.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So point is ACI offers quite a few backgrounds in there as well that you can select from. You see that first one there has a $10 fee on there. So that's just showing you that you can charge more for a certain background if you choose to.
So the tie-dyed background, which should be more valuable, right? $10 we put on that. So if somebody chooses that, they'll know that they're going to be paying more for that background. Right. The other thing I want to mention here real quick, Jess, is with the backgrounds, if you don't want the gray to be the dominant background, I call it, which is the one that will pop in behind the image when mom logs in. If you want to be blue, you just move it like that, save the background set, and that will be the primary background that will show up immediately for the shopper.
So let's see. So I'd say let's poke into that email marketing here. There's a lot of stuff in this email marketing, you guys. We have a free option, so basic option, where basically your guest is, you're going to load an email. So first thing, you got to load the emails. So again, another phrase we both like to say is data is king. So if you've got the data and the data is in the project, there's a lot we can do. If there's not data in the project, then we're to the basics and we can still, get you a good project. But more data you have, the more we can do.
And so yes, I would say this too, adding on to data, since data is king, it's got to be organized properly and well for a job to work.
Yep, definitely. So I'm going to stay high level on this. Email marketing, there's a basic feature. Basically, all you do is you activate it. Emails are going to go out. People are going to get links and they're going to come back into your project. There's a schedule that's set up, first, second, third reminders, last chance, that kind of thing. If you want to get a little bit more fancy, give them a little bit more information, there is a premium marketing feature. It's $10 a project. So just, first analyze if that $10 is worth it for your project, which a lot of times I'm not sure. I've heard too many times that that $10 was not worth the project. So definitely take a good look at that. More campaign drips, more customizable email blasts. You can get into some prepay marketing as well. A lot of cool things that come along with that as well. One thing I do want to throw out there real quick, when you saw that landing page, so the email that you have on the file, first, let's say Sally has her mom's email attached to it, and her mom goes into Order Picks, she does her thing, and then she sends that email to grandma. Grandma comes into the site and grandma puts in her email that you did not previously have. That's going to get into your drip. And then now grandma's going to be hit with the email marketing, the schedule as well. If you already have a outside email software, just know that down below here where it says projects enrolled, you can get to those contacts and you can kind of see, all the emails. You can download that and you can do whatever you want to do too. Some pretty cool data on this page as well. You can see the source.
Sorry.
Nope, that's okay. You can see the source. You can see where it came from. You can see if they purchased, if they visited, some cool things there. Hopefully we'll have text messaging soon. So you do see that there's a phone that's not quite active yet, but we're sure hoping that'll be right around the corner.
Jess, I think we ought to talk a little bit about email blasts. as
Sure.
as an option to premium email marketing. So premium, as Jess said, is $10, but there are benefits to that. You get more options for the drip. Plus, you have this little thing called email blast, which is an individual email that you can set up to go out on the specific days that you want it to go out on. For example, let's say your drips are going out and they're going out today, they're going out a week from today, and then in 2 weeks from that day, they're going out again. And let's say your deadline date is going to fall between two of the drips. Well, you may want to set up an email blast that says, hey, today is the last day for you to save money on your order. So you can direct those email blasts to go out on the days and the times that you want them to go out on and hit the emails. They supplement the and complement the premium email marketing very well. It's only available with premium email marketing. We have some customers that choose not to do the drip and just do email blasts totally.
Yeah.
I guess I want to set up in here, but it's simple, easy to do, super valuable. And it's a really nice feature in premium email marketing. Hey, let's do one more thing with this because I want to show, I'd like to show the print marketing slips. The
Oh
marketing
yeah,
slips.
that's true. That's a newer
Yeah.
feature. Good
So
deal.
if you got no emails from your association and they're not helping you at all with getting the word out that the prints have been loaded into a batch project, you can do this print marketing slip and print these out right in your studio. And you can control the message here at the top that says your photos are ready online. You have up to 120 characters. You can have the images show up, one of the images show up for that each subject right here at the top or not. You can do some filtering up here and filter on certain teams, if you will, or grades. And then you can print these out and send them to the school, put them in the kids' backpacks. They go home, take them to the dance school, take them to the sports association. They go home, and then it has the link and their password, their own password here. And there's a QR code if they want to do the phone ordering and that type of thing. So we have a solution for that when you don't get emails as well. Sorry, Jess.
Nope, that was a good one. I'd say let's bounce into pricing. So price list, I think a big thing to hit on is, again, you can have 50 price lists in there if you want. So you can kind of what we recommend is you got like your master price list and use in the back, that last page, there's a duplicate option that you can hit on. And you have your master, you duplicate it, and then it's a lot easier just to add or subtract what you want to add or subtract with the current project that you're working on. Get a good labeling system here too, I think, so school batch. So get creative. Waverly Shell Rock 2024, keep your what am I trying to say? Your naming features consistent. Us creatives don't like to be consistent on stuff like that, but that's a good time for it to be consistent so you can find it easily, where it is. Okay, so this page looks a little overwhelming at first, but it's really not too bad. So basically, you've created a price list, you've named it, and now you're ready to get some products active. So all you have to do to activate a product is put a price in it. And then the next thing I like to show you is you see you've got 3 columns. Why do I need 3 columns? What's that all about? So the first column, remember, that is your bread and butter, your volume pricing. That's your batch and your prepay pricing or price list. So if I want to activate 16 mini wallets, I'm going to put a price in there. And then I want to go to the individuals because it automatically rolls over. So my recommendation is always put in an individual price if you're going to have it in the batch. Because what happens is if the project rolls over and there's no price list, then there's nothing for them to buy, and that's going to cause customer service calls. So that's basically what you need to know there. That mapping feature, we'll hit on that on an individual video there. So next thing you want to do is make sure you kind of get familiar with the tabs. So you see where you have units. I think the unit one is another thing that I like to talk about, is really think about what you're offering. So if I'm going to do a 5x7 and then I've got another half unit, take a look at this page and make sure that you can't save yourself some money and order it as a unit versus as 2 half units, if that makes sense. Other than that, it's getting familiar with those single prints are there. Let's see, another thing, there's so much information here. So please know, you guys, that we will go into more depth with this. You see there's a reorder option on some of those products. You can poke around in there, just know that that's other options to add to that product, coating or mounting, stuff like that. Another thing that we get lots of questions on is, let's go to that singles tab, Steve. You'll notice that there's a lot of products that do not have a price list in the batch column. What that means is that product is not available in batch mode. So OrderPix was originally designed and is designed for volume work, get those packages in, get them out, fit in that envelope. So you'll notice that some of the things that aren't active are the bigger stuff that don't fit in the envelope. Stuff that's not quite, I guess, what am I trying to say? That volume friendly product. So just two solutions. You offer that in reorder mode, or pretty soon here we'll hit on a no print product, and we can maybe offer some suggestions there too.
And Jess, what I found is studios that offer order picks and present their images for seniors, we've had them offer them for families, they just bypass the batch and go right to individual order mode. So they have all these larger, more portrait type items available. So that's always an option too.
Yep. Okay, before we go any further, I want to make sure you know where your pricing is so that you always have access to that. So remember, you're going to have a premium price for the volume work, and then your price does go up for that individual mode. Again, no commissions, no monthly fees. But to always see your prices, it's right there for you. See ACI pricing. That is available to you 24/7. So please utilize that page as often as you need to. And again, and as you scroll down, we don't need to spend a lot of time here, but again, if there's no price in that column, that just means that product's not offered for that mode. I think I'm going to leave it at that for this one, if that's okay.
Yep, it's there 24/7, like you said.
Yep, download it if you need to. All right, so again, you see lots of different tabs, get comfortable with them. Two more, there's so much in this page that we can hit on. Packages, we haven't talked about that yet. Let's skip over that. Let's go to the graphics page, or product graphics. Let's talk about some sports stuff. So we haven't talked about memory mates yet at all. We kind of hit on briefly that the system can handle attaching a team image to an individual image, and it can also handle creating a memory mate product. So the steps that would need to happen are, your data needs to say, hey, this team goes with this subject. And then you need to have a memory mate product active. And then you need to have a graphic active. And again, just kind of like the backgrounds, you can pick from ours, or you can upload a custom one.
Yep.
If you upload a custom one, please, 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 please test. But then also use that link right there where it says this, that is a live link to get to a template, a PSD template. And you got to make sure you use that so that your images are falling into the correct nodes, into the correct spots. Okay, that's, I'd say, good for there. Image options, we can briefly just give them a glance of that, Steve. A lot of times people have questions on retouching. This is what we can do for you. Put a price in there to activate it.
And just to be clear on this, if a studio goes in and puts prices on and activates it, like you just said, that means the studio is requesting that ACI performs that right there. If they want to do it themselves, there's a little bit different pathway that they would take on that, not putting it in here. They don't want to make it an order for the lab. They want to do it themselves. So there's a different way they'd handle that through a no print product.
Yep. Let's quickly hit on that price list options. At the very beginning, we talked about kind of some cool features. Let's say you want your customer to have to order a package before they order an individual product. That's set here. You do that for prepay and for batch mode, the artistry packaging. So again, there's so much to this system that's probably hidden gems that we want to get out to you guys so that you know it's there.
Yep. And I think typically, Jess, when you get to individual order mode, typically, if it's truly a reorder, that studio's not going to ask them to buy a package first. It's just place an order. But sometimes with batch, studios will want to do that, so they would check yes here on that.
Yep. All right, let's go back to prints and hit on a no print product. So no print product kind of first started off with like, hey, how do I offer a sitting fee? And basically what happens is you create a product that isn't in ACI's realm that we're going to print. And basically what happens is if it's an outfit session, you're collecting money. But if it's a frame that you want to offer that is not printed by ACI, or a product that isn't offered in a batch mode, we call it a no print product. So you create the product, and then once it's ordered, you're going to get a notification saying, hey, this is your responsibility to produce this in this order. And then you handle that outside of the realm of our production.
Yep, and that could be through our Flex software, ordering software, or
Yep.
but it's definitely not through OrderPix.
Cool. So package builder. So this is where, so first, so we talked about the price list. So now let's talk about package builder. So again, you have complete control over what you create your packages as. So you create the package, you create what product goes in it. You give it a name. And again, if you've got package A for sports and you got package A for underclass, you can create two packages A's. You just got to, again, get creative with your, what we call the group and the sort and how they fall, and just make sure that you stay very organized on which packages go with which type of project. So you see Steve's dragging them over and in. A lot of cool things here. Drag them wherever you want. Add quantities. And so that's basically building your package there. And then you save it. And then once the package is created, then you have the chance to give it a price in your price list. So back to here quick, and then see now it's active in there. So pretty cool. That multi-set, we kind of briefly hit on that at the beginning. You can make some other settings that says, hey, this person can order 3 different poses. I can charge you if you go for 4 different poses, so kind of some additional stuff there. So, okay. Anything else you want to hit on in the price list, Steve?
I think it looks pretty good. The products are obviously the fun things like file download, buttons, magnets. Those are all here. Again, if you put a price on it, they're going to show up. And if you don't, they won't show up. So in this case,
Yep.
I probably need to add a price for individual order mode on some of these.
Yes.
And, because I got to think ahead. When it rolls over, I don't have to go do that again. It's done automatically.
Yep.
While I'm sleeping, and I'm able to still make money while I'm sleeping.
Yeah. And one pro tip, guys, is we highly recommend make this change and then log into your customer view like your customer would and see it. Don't anticipate what you think it looks like. Go back and forth, be active, and test. We cannot stress that enough. I think we're going to start to wrap up this video. I think the last thing that I'll just throw out there too is that you do have options for promo codes and discounts. So just know that those are in there. Promo code, they have to have a code. Discount is basically like a rule. So once the rule is met, then the discount is applied. But just know that that's in there as well. So
yeah, and Jess, another thing with schools, I might mention that all of the service items can be downloaded directly out of OrderPix, like the files, the admin files. If you need other service items, you can download we have a method for downloading all the images and a CSV file, and then you can send that to the lab and place your order online with us. I might mention also that if it's a P&G situation where it's a green screen job, you get the choice of us dropping in blue or gray backgrounds for those files that you're downloading for the school. All of our yearbook files that you download are standard in the industry, and the admin files as well. So we're good to go with that. It's super easy to do. It's one charge per project, and you can download them as many times as you need to. So
yeah.
Yep.
No more losing the CD and have to be another fee for the CD, right?
Right.
So guys, if you made it this far, we appreciate you. Just know, I think the coolest thing about OrderPix is our support system here. We're here to help you out. We're here to walk through your workflow, see what workflow is best. This system can handle so many workflows. And a lot of times that's our hardest thing, is just figuring out what workflow works for you and then sticking with it. Because it's easy to, wait to the last minute, or to, hey, I like this better, let's try this. So if we could preach anything, I think it would be, let's get that workflow figured out, nailed out. Let's get testing done and test before you go to that live project. So anyway.
Yep. I agree with you, Jess. I think that's what we spend a lot of our time doing, is helping studios customize their workflow. and customizing an order pick solution, if you will,
Yep.
to help them move on down the road with their making money and being profitable. So,
Yep. Yep.
all right.
Awesome. Very cool. We appreciate you guys. Take care.